I thought that's one thing about these kids. They're resilient all year long. They played hard. Got a really good group of young men, and I know the record doesn't show it, but there's a lot of positives come out of what we did this year, and we got a lot of work moving ahead of us here.
There were so many games all year and there. You guys were on the other side of that. So
yeah, that's a good sign. If you want to, kind of silver lining. I believe, I think if you look at the season, there's a stretch there where we lost a game by 1 point, and 7 points, and we got to find ways to finish out those games, and we got to coach harder. We got to overcome some adversity. I think experience as we move forward with a fairly young group. This will pay off somewhere in the future.
You talk about that stretch in the middle where that 1 point loss, and 7 point loss. And I think at the time we talked about it as something that could be encouraging. Do you feel like in some ways for some players maybe that was a discouraging stretch?
Yeah, it's definitely a gut punch. I mean, so I think we lost our momentum in there somewhere, but that's good football teams overcome that, and there's a confidence streak in there. I think we lost that somewhere down in that stretch somewhere. Stability at quarterback was another reason. I mean, we jumped around and we ended up playing 4 different quarterbacks this year, and we need to get that situated as we move forward here as well.
Speaking of that, I mean, you've got to mention it. A lot of core guys in this group that you feel like could grow into a great team. I guess probably this next year at the quarterback position. Do you feel like maybe with a stable QB in that position or in that role, you guys could be true contenders?
Absolutely. I mean, I think another thing, you look at our youth up front on both our offensive and defensive line, as well as that's the position, right? I mean, in football, the good teams, the great teams have good quarterback play, and we've got some good ones in system. Cannon Gibson. I was really encouraged by Weston Agnett's performance on Saturday. Ashton DeBose put together. I mean, he's a true freshman that played for us. And all that said, to get good, you got to get old. I mean, you got to those game reps for those guys are crucial. And as we move forward, the more reps that we have in system with our system, our guys are going to just get better and better.
What was kind of the message to some of those younger guys you expect to come back next year after the game in terms of what they need to do moving forward here ahead of preparing for next season?
Well, the message was we got a good group. I mean, and we've got a really good group, and we do need to make some changes at certain spots, here as we move out through the off season. But the overall general consensus was positive. We just have to get better. I mean, we've got to recruit harder as coaches. We have to coach harder, and then I believe buy-in and the commitment by our football team just only needs to go up, and we need to prepare harder and just be more complete in those areas.
As you get a full year now to actually have a full recruiting season, what are some of the positions you think you gain on?
Well, I think it's pretty much. I've said it all along, bigger and older, and I think you got to look at the fronts. We got to add some crucial depth. The linebacker position this year was good for us. We weren't real deep at it. We got to get some guys in behind those older guys. And then the last thing is probably the secondary. I mean, we're up in games, and just getting beat, maybe outside one-on-one. We need to find some more length at some secondary positions. That might be the most, and we'll recruit all positions, but I think those are the primary spots.
You talk about bigger and older being kind of the focus there. Does that mean as far as high schoolers, seniors right now, maybe especially considering you guys had such a young class last year, that you guys will go less towards that rep?
No, we're always going to base. I mean, nothing to the class that we signed here last year was big. And a lot of youth, and a lot of those guys aren't going anywhere, as of right now. And, that's encouraging. The one thing about it is that this class won't be nearly as big, but, quality and, the emphasis is length. And, it won't be nearly as big as class, but we'll, we're looking for, bigger.
Will you look to the portal maybe for some players you're looking for?
I think so. We're not gonna live and die by it, but the portal for certain areas of needs. Yes, we will. And I think if any Division II college football program isn't, they're probably behind. And so, yeah, we'll hit it. And if there's some players that we feel that can help us and fit what we're doing here, we will go after those kids.
Could you just kind of walk us through the process for the players that are sticking around of what the next few months look like for them in terms of just postseason workouts or anything like that they go through?
Sure. What we'll do is we'll meet with every single player in our program through this week. We'll do a little bit of conditioning, and then when you roll into the backside of a semester, your focus is always finishing out the semester academically. The NCAA mandates that we give our guys off finals week and finals, to make sure that they're handling their business in the classroom. Christmas break, we're expected to work out, and then as we move into spring practice, we'll go spring lifting and then get into spring ball. And for the players, it's the focus shifts now. I mean, it's always on academics, but we've got to get, with being bigger, that also relates into the off season. And so us doing what we're supposed to, another thing to do is I think is mentally getting tougher as well as physically, and that's what a good off season will do.
Just one last question for you, Coach. Just what's kind of your thing that you I don't know if you want to call it recruiting message or something like that, but things you say to players, general message that you say about why they should come here?
Yeah, there's, when you look at WT and you look at the resources that we have and the resources that we are going to have with our new facility, and then you look at our coaching staff, we're men of integrity. All right, we're going to develop young men to be successful in life, not only in football. And at the end of the day, it's to go win football games. And we're gonna always encourage graduating. We're always going to encourage winning. And so, we're going to have a winner here. It's only a matter of time. And we're gonna put all our focus on those two things.